With the recent release of HD Retrovision's PS2, PS3 component cables, I was curious how they compared to my current set of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 cables, especially with the build quality of my older cables still leaving something to be desired since I purchased them back in the early PS2 era. With how happy I am with my previous cables that I bought from HD Retrovision, I decided to order a set to do a quick comparison. Now this comparison is more for modern TVs, not so much for CRTs. Now HD Retrovision cables are probably the best way to go for CRTs, but there's a good chance you'll be just as happy with an older or less quality component cables or even S-Video, and that's perfectly fine. It's also worth noting that my older Elgato capture device, although captures the PS3 system menu just fine, it would not capture gameplay at full 1080p through component. First, I captured some footage using HDMI just to kind of get a baseline for comparison. Here's what my PlayStation 3 looks like using HDMI on a PlayStation 3 game, a PlayStation 2 game, and a PlayStation 1 game. Keep in mind the PlayStation 3's HDCP copy protection will prevent you from capturing an HDMI signal, and you kind of need a device that'll strip that from the HDMI signal if you're capturing. I use a simple HDMI splitter to do this. It works great, adds no additional input lag. Next, I use my older component cables, while both in the system menu and on a PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 1 game. Right away, even though a 1080p signal is displayed on my HD TV just fine, the drop in quality is very noticeable. Not only is there some noise in the signal, but there's also some this weird color bleeding effect noticeable on the TV. Almost like watching a 3D movie without the glasses on. It's more of an issue with resolutions above 480p, but it's still noticeable. It's worth mentioning that I'm also using a Model 1 PlayStation 3 to play PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, and I currently don't have any screen smoothing or screen stretching enabled in the PS3 system menu, so everything will look like really pixelated. And finally, I tested the HD Retrovision component cables, and I was very impressed with the difference in quality. I can almost not tell the difference between these cables and the HDMI cable itself. I'm even considering keeping these hooked up all the time for the simplicity when dual outputting to both my big screen TV and my CRT, which would also free up an HDMI port on my receiver. So, should you get these cables? It depends on why you want them. If you are using a CRT television, you may want these. However, you may also be happier with cheaper alternatives. Since the PS2 and PS3 both output native component, there's no RGB transcoder circuit in these cables, which makes these half the price of HD Retrovision's other cables. However, that means this cable will not work on a PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1 and PS2, PS3 component cables that they offer are two different cables. If you are playing on a PlayStation 3, then HDMI is obviously going to be the best choice for a modern television. But if you're still using capture equipment through component, if you are still playing on a CRT, or if you are playing games on the PlayStation 2 console because that console doesn't do HDMI, then HD Retrovision cables might be for you. If you simply want the best signal possible from a component video source, regardless of your setup, then yes, I would say these are definitely worth it. So for anyone out there that has these cables, what do you guys think about them? If you have this product and you like it, or if you don't like it, please leave a comment down below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to keep supporting this channel, and please click on the bell icon for notifications for future videos. And thank you very much for watching.